Good morning, my friends. Welcome to today's discussion. I'm Marshall Burtcher, and I help codependents rediscover happiness in their world or create it for their first time in their world by helping them heal the trauma bond, discover who they are, and create happy relationships. So I help you go from being codependent to interdependent, well, codependent to independent to interdependent, if that makes sense. Like, you know who you are, you can create relationships that matter to you. And that includes, life purpose and business and things like that. There's can be quite a bit in that category. Alright, so enough about that. Today we are going to talk about reclaiming our innocence, and specifically the relationship innocence has to our feelings, to our emotions. So before we get started with that, I need to share this out to the community really quick, which means I need to come over here. The community is your safe haven here on the internet where you can find guidance, support, shelter, tools, and connection, where people understand the experience you're going through because they have either gone through it themselves or they're going through it right now. You can find out you're not crazy, that you're not alone, and that we've got your back in this journey. So it's specifically this community, it's called Thriving Beyond Codependency Community, and it's specific for survivors of narcissistic abuse. So if that resonates with you and that's your journey, please join. The link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. So let's get this shared out to the community so everybody can have... Alright, there we go. So let me know how you're doing in the comments below, how things are going for you personally. I know there's a lot of stress and tension, a lot of instability, especially if you're here in the United States. Please be mindful, take care of yourself and your loved ones. If you need tools that help you manage that kind of emotion in your life, get the Be Calm tool set. It's linked above on Facebook, below on YouTube in the description. That will get you a series of trainings and tools that can help you calm your mind and body somatically. All right. So, innocence and feelings. It's actually kind of a cool coincidence because I woke up this morning and I was like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to deal with this. I guess some latent anxiety. I have a little anxiety cycle that happens every 3 weeks, and today is the day. And so, rather than trying to fix those feelings or get rid of those feelings or do something different with them, I started to give them a little more space. I just let myself be the anxious one. I let myself have a heaviness in my body. Because a lot of times what we do with our emotions is we judge them. We judge them as good or bad, right or wrong. They're in the way. That's the right feeling. This is the good thing to feel. Things like that. In my own childhood, emotions, there's only a very few specific emotions that were really allowed, because anything outside of that gamut or spectrum was not allowed. You actually was punished for having feelings. It's just absurd. And when feelings were either shared or expressed or communicated, they had to be done in a very specific way. And if they weren't done in a specific way, you get punished. Generally, I learned that the pattern was the feeling itself. So if I was happy or grateful, cool. But if I was upset, if I was grieving, if I was lonely, if I was sad, it's like, no, can't have that. And so I'd internalized a relationship with my emotions that was shameful, that was fearful, that was judgmental and condemning. The religious system I grew up in, I learned from it that certain feelings were of the devil, that they were caused by Satan. And I'm like, that will get in your head real quick, especially like anxiety and depression. I was also taught that anxiety was about weakness, that you're a weak human being. There's something broken in you if you have anxiety. If you're depressed, that you have sinned and that you're wrong and bad, and you need to repent. And these kinds of messages about emotions and sensations cause a lot of internalized judgment, condemnation, a lot of hate towards myself. It divided me against myself, and it disconnected me from my own true, authentic experience. And this led to decades of trying to fix myself. And fixing in this regard would be I no longer have these feelings. That's kind of an impossible thing to accomplish, because we as human beings, we are actually emotional creatures that tend to sometimes be logical or rational in our thinking. But we are driven by emotion. Choices are driven by emotion. Our impulses, our reactions, the things we want and don't want, these are emotionally driven components. And as such, if we have condemned or been condemned for what we feel, then we are being disconnected and divided against ourselves. How on earth will we know what a boundary is, or what our boundaries even are, if we're not in tune with what we feel? Because boundaries are discovered by what we feel. They're discovered by the experiences we're having with another human being, or another situation or something. See, boundaries are discovered in the emotional spectrum. They're not this rational thing that's just like, wow, that hurt, please stop doing that. How on earth do we know what's satisfying or meaningful to us if we're not connected to our emotions? Because satisfaction and meaning are emotional experiences. See, if our emotions have been condemned and judged, then we've been disconnected from our brilliance. We've been divided against our well-being and against who we are. So when we come back into relationship with emotion, then we can go, okay, what is this attempting to tell me? Because I find the emotional responses are directly connected to the core needs we have as human beings. There's 10 of them. And in these 10 core needs, our emotions have certain kinds of, the emotions we have are in relationship to what those needs are and how they're being fulfilled or not fulfilled in our world. And so, like, if I have, like, for instance, the anxiety I've been feeling this morning, that is the call for need, that is a need for safety and shelter. It's as simple as that. So it's like, okay, if I can acknowledge that I want safety and shelter in my world, then I can open up to seeing how to receive that, how to ask for it, how to provide it for myself. So I have my me-to-me approach, and then others-to-me approach, where I can ask it of another. Sometimes we just, I find with anxiety, my brain and body want to be anxious. Cool, we're going to be anxious. What's wrong with it? But it's directly related to a sense of lack of safety. So the need is safety. If I'm bored, it's a need for play and creativity. If I'm lonely, it's a need for attention, connection, intimacy, whatever that might be. So our emotions are the language in which our needs speak. It's how they get our attention. They're very, very valuable. And so when it comes to this relationship with innocence and feelings, if we've been condemned and judged in our feelings, we're disconnected, we're divided. The unification is to realize the goodness, the worthwhileness of our emotions. And that is easily put back in line by returning to innocence and witnessing the genuine innocent nature of our emotions. That these are not coming from bad or evil places within us, or selfish places, or immature places. They're coming from a place within us, from a part or an aspect of ourselves that has something to say, and this is how it's saying it. When we start to see and align and receive the goodness of our emotions, the worthwhile nature of them, we start to find a peace within us and a unification with ourselves, because we start to be on our own side. We become our own emotional ally. That empowers us to accomplish more in our world, namely in becoming more what's called individuated from other people. So it's like, well, I see you feel that way, I feel this way, there's a difference. I don't necessarily have to create an agreement between these differences. Other people can have their points of view, and they can deal with it. One of the weird impacts of this that have been really dawning on my brain lately is this reality that I have no business. How do I put this? I have no business putting or assuming people's intentions. So sometimes I will be like browsing Facebook or talking with someone or witnessing something, and my brain will start inserting intention. I'll be going, while they're doing this, they did this way, or oh, they're responding to that person because of this, or oh, they didn't choose me because of that, or blah blah blah. It gets into this really self-centered point of view, like their relationship, their behaviors are about me. They're not. That's a disrespect to that individual to assume one knows why they're doing something. It's more like, let's step back, realize that that is not my yard, not my business. I can respect them because I can respect myself. I can respect the validity of me. It's an interesting thing because as I honor the innocence of my emotions, my feelings, where I'm coming from, I have more capacity to honor in others as well. And to witness the positive regard and respect for others as we respect ourselves. This is the power of reconnecting with our emotions from a state of innocence, from a state of understanding that they are worthwhile and good in their inherent nature. They are not abusive, they are not bad, they are not even good. They are there and they matter, and they're valuable, and they're valid and real. So today, guys, I invite you to explore your emotions and your relationship to your feelings through the lens of innocence. And if you want more assistance with that, if you'd like to go deeper on it, I invite you to join the Reclaiming Yourself Innocence course that starts this coming Monday, so in about 6 days. We're going to go through 5 specific modules that help us reclaim innocence, both from mistakes, from condemnation and judgment, restore innocence to needs and wants, to being and to feeling in these 5 modules. And then I'm going to give you a practice you can implement into your daily life. This will be a really nice launching pad into the Heal Yourself strategy, where we go deep on healing the core components of codependency and helping you liberate from your need to have codependent behaviors and connect to and develop self-advocating behaviors that restore sanity, safety, and connection in your world so that you can thrive in who you are. So that starts this Monday. The link is above. The registration link's above on Facebook, below on YouTube. Click on it, check it out. The price of that includes enrollment with the Heal Yourself strategy, and it gets you access to bi-weekly live mentoring with me, which I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It gets you access to a bunch of other courses that I offer to assist you in your healing and in your success. Okay, I appreciate you. Remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. Be safe out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for our next discussion on reclaiming innocence.